Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. And good evening to all points, north, south, east, and west, and in between. This is the June 21st, 2022, the summer solstice edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. Glad you can join us. And I am your host and moderator and facilitator and everything else, Mr. Mike Walker. Glad to have you here. Glad you could join us tonight. And we got a pretty interesting show. And before we get started, you know what we always do, we do the salutations. So let's get started with that. Marcus says, good evening to all SBCC members. Happy first day of summer. Glad to have you. Valerie, so great to have you here as always. Oh, Jenna Morgan, she's in the audience today. I wish she could join us tonight. So she's outdoors. Glad to have her here. Margaret from Pennsylvania, good to have you here. Kitty McCat, great to have you here. We got a lot of y'all. Glad. Josette from California, glad to have you out there. I wish you could join us up here tonight too. Lorraine Robinson, good to have you. Sister Madison, always a pleasure to have you here. Teresa Jones, good to have you here. Marva D. Rosenberg, good evening. I made great. Oh, you finally made it. I'm glad you made this one. I am so glad. Rosenborough, and I messed up your surname, so please forgive me for that. Deanna Lewis, glad to have you here. Sherry, good to have you here as always. Tracy Williams, good to have you here. Tiffany Davis, good to have you here this evening. Okay, then. Well, let's get started, y'all. Okay, we start with our panelists. Starting from my left, we got from Sacramento, California, we got Josette. Josette, how you doing? Good.
That's good.
We got
Good,
from
glad to be here. Glad to see y'all. Throwing out huggies to y'all.
yes. We got from Atlanta. We got this is his first time here, y'all. So y'all treat him nice. We got brother Tron Brothers from Atlanta, Georgia. Glad to have you here, sir. And also from Atlanta, Georgia, and this is her second time here, but first time with us crazy folks. We got Jenna Morgan also from Atlanta. Glad to have y'all here this evening. Great. Well, folks, it's showtime. Let's get started. And I want the sisters to address this first. Not only I want the sisters on the panels to address this first, but definitely the sisters out there in the viewing audience. And this is going to be the first topic. Plain and simple. Black women, do you feel supported by black men? And let me qualify this in saying not so much always a financial situation or what have you, but or physical, but that's in your endeavors. Or if you're going through something in your household, in your family, medical, or just someone you need to be to lean on. So who want to start that first? Okay, Jenna.
You start. Okay. I feel supported as far as those who are in my immediate circle, like my dad, grandfather. I have some male cousins and some couple of male friends. I feel very much so supported. Now I'm not gonna say by every black
Yeah,
man or
yeah.
man, no.
hmm
But some of my most important relationships, yeah, I feel supported.
Okay. Now, what about the ones who could have supported you, but for whatever reason, but they just chose not to?
I just let them be. I don't let it bother me. It's like, oh well.
Oh, I
Because
get you.
what they say, this train gonna keep on rolling. Gonna keep on rolling. It's okay.
I get you. Josette, go ahead. How's your take?
Um,
Do you feel supported by your black brothers?
I do.
hmm
I do. So I'm kind of the opposite of Jenna. I don't have any brothers. I only have like one uncle that's living, and I don't communicate with him. My dad passed away 18 years ago, so I don't have male family members. It's a bunch of us girls, and I asked the same question about them. But as far as like the men that have been in my life, like Mike, you've been a long time, friend of mine for a long time, and I feel supported by you. Like we've talked outside, different situations that I've been through with my son. You've helped me with, and you've always been there, and I appreciate your friendship for that. And then I have other male friends that were in my church or male friends that were in my fellowship, my recovery fellowship, that have always been very supportive, both physically, emotionally, just financially, whatever it was. They, help with my son, just questions I might have had to ask about him. They've always helped. When it comes to men that I've dated, they've always been supportive. And I gotta add a little but to that. There has been for me, because I don't know, I think I'm a little bit of a different individual, I'm a little weird. So when you say support me, it's like, okay, look, are you gonna look, I gotta deal with this animal. Can you help me come catch it? It's lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so I have found that men have been supportive and have justified my stupid ideas. Men have been supportive and then after become intimidated by me. Men have been supportive and then after feel guilt and shame on their own part because they didn't do what do you understand what I'm saying? So there's been support in the sense of where, somebody like, you'll help me go pick out the car, but then later that night, the next day, you upset because you couldn't get the car. Do you see what I'm saying? Or you'll help me go and, wash the car and get cat, it's just there. So I've been supported by men that I've been dating, but then there's other sides to it. But then there have been those men that have just been fully because they were progressing in their own life. So there's been very, very few men that were not intimidated by me because of what, so when I ask, when I need support, I'm going to communicate with you on a level and ask you, hey, can I talk to you about something for a minute? Hey, can you help me with this? And so, yeah, sometimes there's been men that have been supportive and they want something back. So it's been different situations. It's between either there's intimidation behind it, or they feel guilt and shame in behind it, or they want something behind it. And there's been those few that have just been all the way around good, solid, supportive people like yourself, Mike. There's only a few of you.
Okay. Glad to have been a support to you, though. Glad to have been a support to you. Brother Tron, I'm all but certain that you have supported the black woman. And I won't necessarily go in what ways unless you want to, but how was it received? How was your support of the black woman was received?
Well, I think it's subjective too. If you notice what they always said when it came to the relationship part, there was a little friction there. So, I have 3 daughters. So of course I'm going to be supportive to my black queens because I'm their father. You understand what I'm saying? I feel that's a duty of mine and an assignment. Whereas in relationships, sometimes we get a little shaky with it at times because the support support is also subjective. I'm a guy with PTSD, right? So certain things that I may do, I may not feel I'm getting the support, or a person may not feel they're getting the support. We put it, again, I say it all the time, we put it down to communication, but it's down to understanding. But I think that as much as possible, I try to support my black sisters, no matter whether they're my blood or not, because we've all got our external and internal struggles. So I try to support as much as I can.
And and that's very good. And that it seems to be some type of, I guess, for lack of a better term, a war between the black man and the black woman. And I wonder, like, how did that start? Where did it start from? How did we? Yes, you got some.
Can you
that
elaborate on that?
Hey,
when I am in California, you got some women that's trying to be men and they hitting on women. And what you mean? Are you speak? I mean, it's Pride Month now, so you need to elaborate a little bit.
It's like it's at the point now. and maybe in the past decade or so, that plain and simple, black men and black women, not all, definitely not all, but some, it's almost a war for whatever reason. There's a online forum, I won't bring it up. It's a man hater club. You know, they just
What?
run down. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'll tell y'all
Say it
about that.
ain't so. I did.
Oh yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, you got some brothers out there who are misogynist, and they do just as much harm about
I'm
that.
sorry. Wait, they are what?
A misogynist, a
Boy,
woman,
elaborate on
a,
that word. I
a
know.
woman,
Lord, I
a
feel retarded.
no, a woman hater.
Oh.
Yes, yes. And might as well go this other way too. And the man haters, they are the misandry. Okay, that's the term for that. A
Oh,
woman that
wow.
does,
There's
yeah.
a terminology.
I know.
Mm,
Ain't that a kick in the head? But
mm, mm.
let me answer some of this. Let me answer Teresa. My experience, I have to say no. My dad, yes, when I needed it. Not say all black men, but the ones I have encountered, I have often supported others. But did not get the same in return. And Brother Marcus says this: I'm a proud uncle of an extraordinary young woman of a niece. Like Tron says, it is subjective to be that support system, both emotionally, mentally, and physically. And let me get this right here. And Kitty McCat says, why does race factor into the question? I'm glad you asked that question. You asked a good question, though. The reason why I came up with this topic for tonight, it's kind of a racial background to it. And let me show y'all what it is. So short clip. Pay attention. Don't grin, Jenna. Pay attention.
Here's a simple question, because I've been reading some of the comments, and I just want an answer to that question. This is a question for black women. Do you guys not feel supported by black men? Do you feel like black men don't support you? And if so, why?
I'm sorry, I had to give her a little 2-second laugh. That, yeah, okay, now seriously.
So, anyone want to tackle that? At least the fact that she feel. Go ahead, Brother Tron.
I would say that it does have something to do with race. I was sitting, sitting at lunch by myself one day, and I was thinking, look how we represent our black women in our music. You don't see country music artists calling their women bees, and you don't see that. That is a cultural, direct thing that is happening there. It's true. The race does factor in. You don't see the rock artists calling their women bees or whatever they did and twerk this and twerk that. You see what I'm saying? You don't see that. That only happens really 99% in our culture. Unless it's a white rapper saying it or a white R&B person. But the reality to it is, go find me a country western song. Go find me a rock song. Go find me what they call it the crossover songs.
Yes,
Show me
yes.
where they're talking about the Caucasian women. It doesn't happen. Not in the Mexican community. Not in the Caucasian community. When it comes to music, it doesn't happen.
Josette.
So you mentioned something earlier about there is a war going on between men and women.
That was a lack of a better term, but I say a conflict.
Okay, a conflict.
Yeah, and not all men and not all women, but at some point.
Definitely in the black culture.
Yes, at some point
And so I can understand and agree with what Tron said, because for me, I'm sorry, I apologize, people, but I hang around a lot of other cultures. A lot of my friends are of the Caucasian race. I have friends that are of even, Hispanic race and Middle Eastern cultures, and I hang around with a lot of different cultures, and we are the only ones that have that war between us. And so what you said was a little bit new to me in the sense of where you feel, because I'm sorry, I don't hang around my culture of people because of the anger against men, or because of the anger against other people in our race, or because of how women are treated. I just choose not to hang with my culture of people because I choose peace, I choose love, I choose kindness. You know, now I'm a bit of an a-hole every now and then myself, but you understand what I'm saying? So I think it is a racial thing, and you know, it's the same thing that said, like, if I keep hanging around single black women, I will be bitter because the ones that are out here, a lot of them are bitter. And so now when you say it's a war, I just call it a bitterness. But I don't want that bitterness to live and thrive in my heart and in my soul and in my spirit. So I think it is a racial thing.
Okay. Keena says this.
Woo, girl.
Yeah. Support is subjective. I think the war started when women stopped getting along to get along. And there is a problem. Not all, but Kevin Samuels created an entire platform for misogyny and created a space for this behavior. But it's harder to find the antithesis of with godly men supporting women. We have since that type of support. We haven't seen that type of support since the 1990s with Promise Keepers. That's an old name right there. With the I love my wife and I love my husband movement. Whew, I need a sip after that one. But
Yeah, let me get one.
but one thing I want to kind of tackle with what Keena said about Kevin Samuels created an entire platform. Well, that mindset started long before he became a internet household name. That been started, you know. He might have tried to, well, he said what he had to say, but that's been around a long time though. And Lorraine, black men are the only men that talk down on their own. Agreed, it's not just in entertainment, it's especially when they marry or date outside of their race. Anyone on this panel agree with that?
Some of them do. I've seen where some of them have, when they date outside the race, they go back and talk, acting like they didn't come from a black woman. They'll talk about. So I have seen it, but I think it's a mentality thing, and I can even think it probably came back from slavery. You know how the master would sell one of them off, breaking up the family. So I think a lot of the back and forth even can stem from there, and the fact that, you know, the woman normally was with the child normally. So I can see where it probably could stem even that far back.
Okay. April Shaw says this right here. Wait a minute. Why is she asking us? Talking about the young lady in the video.
Yeah, I
You
was
know,
wondering that too.
why is she asking us?
Yeah.
You know, what's the purpose though? But and she says something else that was pretty interesting. April says it seems like black men have been taught to hate their own race. I don't know about that. I have been taught that. I haven't been taught.
It's not intentionally taught, but it's a learned behavior. There's a difference. A learned behavior, like through our bloodline, that saying that, you know, little kids are coming up because they seen Uncle so and so and brother so and so talk this way to them, so that's all they know to do is to talk, because that's how they were watching that while growing up. So it was a learned behavior, but not intentionally taught.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just really don't know. And let me see. April says she's
kind of like if you hang out in the hood, you're gonna have hood characteristics. You get what I'm saying?
Well, if you're talking about environment, then that might be something to chew on, I guess. But I just don't think they were taught to hate. I don't hate my own race.
No, it's it's just a learned behavior.
And I live in the cradle of the Confederacy. I live in Alabama. You know, the heart of Dixie. So, but I don't have that type of hate though. You know, I don't know where they, you know, I don't know. Kitty says this. That's not completely true. There are genres of music that speak of women in a way that may be perceived as degrading or demeaning. All depends on what you're listening to. And I remember in the 80s, on MTV, you had those what you call hair bands or heavy metal bands. They would have their music videos, and the women would be scantily dressed, you know. And the crazy thing about it was the sisters weren't dressing up like that at the time in
Right.
their videos.
Oh,
But you go to let's name some hair bands, you know, the women would be exposed to what have you though. Fast forward, I guess it's changed. I guess I don't know how that came about. Maybe it started with Luke and the Two Live Crew. It may have started with. I mean, that's the only somebody I could. Back in, I think I heard them in either 88, 89, something like that. And I saw the cover of one of their albums, and all
One of
I
their
saw was
first
just.
albums. I still have that.
I need to have a talk with you, Joseph. And I just remember seeing all the gloops that was on there. I was like, what is this? You know, then you got MWA not too far after that, though. You know, so I
But
don't
we
know.
got
Go
something
ahead.
else out that's new now that's fixing to turn us all around again. I don't know if y'all been watching that show and y'all know what I'm talking about, but it's fixing to bring a new twist into the world for us Black African American people. Everybody on that show right now.
What show? What
P
show?
Valley.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Fixing to
Okay.
bring a new twist upon us. Went to go get my
Yeah.
hair braided, and the girl had a stripper pole in the middle of her doggone room. I said, "Girl, don't do this. Let's not. Let's not. It's too early in the season."
And then I don't know if any of y'all saw Drake's new video about he's okay. I strongly suggest you watch this. Just watch it. Okay. Y'all watch Drake's new video. Just watch it, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Margaret says, in general, our black men can do a better job of supporting black women. I notice in the workplace, some men in leadership seem to not show support for us, and it's probably because they have to be careful not to show favoritism toward any black person. To me, that is very sad, and it's just my opinion. And I feel that that's job protection. Not to say that it's right or wrong, but it's job protection. Sometimes, even in the 21st century, I guess you have to be careful about showing so much unity. Case in point, Black Lives Matter. Then people twist it around to make it sound like we're trying to, what is it, take over the United States, and it's not about that. But yeah, but you know, you have to be careful with that, though. It's sad, though. It's sad. Subconsciously, K. Renee Jones, glad to have you here. Subconsciously, a lot of African Americans harbor self-hate. And I don't know if y'all seen this. It's an old picture. It's an old picture about having this black girl, and this probably in the 40s, late 40s, or definitely the 50s, where this black girl was presented with two baby dolls. One was black, one was white. Take
Oh,
a
yeah.
take a wild guess which one she picked.
She wanted the white one. Same thing
The
my
white
little
one.
girl did.
Mm-hmm. And so we've been taught, and I go further than that though. And I'm glad you brought that point up, Renee Jones. I just put this up here again. Look at black cinema in the 20s and definitely 30s and 40s. Look at the leading characters. Look at the leading characters. Take your time. Look at Cabin in the Sky. Some other ones. What tone were these people? So, you know, and it's ironic that black filmmakers wanted to make something so black people when seen in these subservient and buffoonery, you know, roles though, but when they do it, they did colorism in those roles, you know. The lighter tone was in the good roles, and the darker tone was in the lesser roles, and to some degree, a bit of buffoonery. So we may have been taught that way. Anybody want to chew on that?
I can agree with that. Some of us darker ones was always like the maid or mammy.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. This comes from the beauty, success, professional standards set by society at large. I can agree with that. Let me see. Keena says, I know there was a move in black music for overly sexualized women and infantilism in men. Okay. And yes, the Brown versus Topeka study. Y'all look that up. It's kind of a bad looking picture though. Yes, because lighter was closer to white. Yeah, that's all I can say. And I think about what was that movie? Imitation of Life. Both versions of the movie. She wanted to pass as white, but the gig was up. It was discovered that she was black, and all hell broke loose. So, yeah. So, any closing thoughts before we move on? Any closing thoughts on this topic?
I can't even say what I'm thinking right now.
Let's say it. Come, please. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
I think I'll pass.
You sure? Hey, go ahead, Troy.
I was jotting down notes. I'm a big note taker, but
That's fine.
It never dawned on me till we started talking about this. Why the black woman may feel a certain way. Let's not forget the whole Emmett Till back in the day during the civil rights. You could get arrested for even looking at, whistling, communicating with a white woman. Whereas the black woman, even though she's a woman, she felt like she was a woman too. She should have been valued just as much as that. But we didn't even hold any value to them. And I think it's catching up. I don't think we are where we should be, but I think the value on the black woman is catching up. The problem is sometimes when we try so hard, we go past the envelope where we really should go. And I think there needs to be a balance there. As we respect our black women, let's not do too much to demasculinize the black man as so much. And it's not that we're greater than or less than factor. It's just that certain things should be in place in certain order anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't arrived, but there's plenty of work that needs to be done. It started I don't know when this stuff, but then again, slavery. It probably just started in slavery, at least incubated during slavery. And Charlene said, thank you, my brother. She talking to you, Tron. So thank you. So, okay. Keena says, look at urban fiction. I can't even read them anymore because I can't do the buffoonery. Or there's a writer who is white male and writes the black soul food mysterious, targeted to black women. And that could be the case. That could be the case. Elizabeth Ann Marshall Marquis, glad to have you here. I look at a black woman and I only wish and pray I could be as beautiful as they are. Oh, okay, glad to have you here, sister. That I had the class and could know a lot as good as my outfits as they do. Even the really large women are full of confidence. Okay, I don't know how to take that for real though. I don't know how to take that for real though. But let me see, is there anything else? Oh wow, the Willie Lynch syndrome. You know what? And I'm glad you brought this up. We getting real deep in this though. I like this though. There has been speculation that's not even real. That the Willie Lynch letter or what have you, that is not real. Some people say it is, some people it isn't. So I don't know. So I don't know about that. And those who aren't fully familiar with the Willie Lynch syndrome, look it up and we'll talk about it. It's about this slave owner named Willie Lynch back in the 1700s or something like that, trying to tell the slave owners how to, I guess, treat his black slaves though. So it makes some good reading. And yes, oh my, yes, Tina, I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you. She's talking about that comment. Ugh, okay. Sound like a
You know,
backhanded. Go ahead,
I was
Joseph.
just I'm gonna try and hold back on a lot of my words and thoughts right now, but I will say that as a Black culture, this is all proof that we need to do better. I remember there was a time in my life when, as a Black man, you couldn't support me because of my mouth. Um, and I just think that as a culture of people, we need to do better. There was a time when maybe he offered to try him, or maybe he, but because of my pride and ego as a Black woman, I shut him down. Or if he did try and support and help out, that I'm watching every move and I need to tell you what, and it's hard to support each other coming from, within the Black culture. And I think like when you just said something key and you said that was sad, and that was speaking into something different. But there was a lot of things about the Black culture that is sad. And so why do I need to continue to stick like glue to this culture?
Mm-hmm.
And when I say we need to do better, I think that maybe we do. I mean, it just branch out. I don't know, because we are bitter to each other. I still have to deal with somebody made a comment, or somebody about her being dark-skinned and you the beautiful for a dark-skinned woman. I still get those comments too. I still get, a lot. So it's just we need to do better as a culture of people going forward. So if I keep looking at all the things that put us in the position that we're in right now, this is continued and ongoing learned behavior based on what our kids see. And so I choose to raise my kids differently. I have to break a generational curse that has to do with the bitterness, the angerness, the hatred that we have for each other. And that starts with my kids. So I hope and pray that we learn to do better and that we set better examples for our kids. Period.
Renee says, when the Black men left the home, the women were left to pick up the responsibility on our own.
Can't nobody tell me nothing more better than that. I raised all three of my kids by myself, but I can't hold that as something to be bitter at Black men for. So what? He left, so what?
Well, and you look
I
at
can still come that with love and kindness and peace.
And it wasn't, and I really wish people would say some Black men or some women, because you paint them with a real broad brush with that. Because you look at the Black couples like I said, back in the old days, like we would have called old days, they might have had 10, 15, 20 children, but dad was still there though. He did what he could to take care of the household. So I don't know where that nonsense started, where the Black man started, I guess, lacking his personal responsibility, though.
I can tell you how, Mike.
Go ahead, brother.
I had this conversation too about a year ago. So,
okay.
And I never looked at it. It was a brother educating me. So he explained to me, he said, bro, think about when you were growing up, and the people before you, there was always really a man in the home. Now, he might have been a constant man, but, there were men in the home, or there would only be one children homes, right? There was multiple children in the home, which means there was a man present somewhere. The problem came in when they used the welfare system against them. You see what I'm saying? Because if you had two people in the household and you were married, there was two incomes, and you fell out of the rankings of qualifying for those benefits. So we got in the mindset of, well, let's not get married. I'm gonna say I'm here by myself. You see what I'm saying? And then we can get these benefits and have this home. And when they come through to do the inspection, then you go on out, it happens to this day, still to this day. And that's when we as Black men started drifting too far away. And it should have never been us using the program anyway. But that was a major part of the problem. I'm not saying it was all, but it was a major part of the problem in order to get those benefits.
And
there's a lot of things to point the finger at all the way around from the beginning of there was a lot but no matter what, I pointed at the system, I pointed at the president, I pointed at the men, I pointed at the women, I pointed at the dark skins, I pointed at the light skinned ones, I pointed at the master, but there's always three pointing back at me. So what is my point and what is my part in this now to recover, to change? What is my part in this now with my attitude?
But I
And
like what
that's
you
what we
said,
forget
Mike.
to look at.
Jenna, go ahead.
I like what you said, Mike, about it's some. It's some because I have a father. Just like one of my y'all were talking about last Tuesday talk about some women wanting to be father and mother. I have a father. So my friend called me with the Happy Father's Day. I was like, no, ma'am, I'm a mother. I have a father who's very much present in my life. Now, on the other hand, my son's father is not present. My dad takes up that slack. So I guess it just all depends on the upbringing. And I can look at his upbringing, my son's father's upbringing, and it's a bit different. There's some things that happen, and his daddy got a bunch of kids, so I can look at some different things about the upbringing. So, and that's just two generations. I got my dad, his dad, not
Mm-hmm.
So I just it's some men, some women. It's not all.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And to go back to what Tron said, and I'm glad he brought this up about the welfare system and the stats and the eligibility and all that. Just either last week, I watched the movie Claudine. If y'all familiar with that movie, starring was Diane Carroll and James Earl Jones, and it was about. I'm surprised y'all haven't seen it. Y'all looking at me like y'all do. Okay, I do it though. I'll explain. I gladly explain it to y'all. And if y'all in the outside audience seen it, just say so in the comment area. Yeah. Wait. Keenan says I love Claudine. Okay, we need to have a watch party, y'all. It's Claudine. She had what 6 children. Diane Carroll, and she was looking good in that picture. But Diane Carroll was playing the mother, and James Earl Jones wanted to date her, But come to find out that if he were to marry her, the welfare benefits would have decreased. Yeah, exactly. And then if he went unemployed, he would have to apply for welfare, and that was mandatory in that film. So it was just a bad system all the way around, though. And then he started I ain't gonna tell the whole story though. But anyway, y'all just had to see for yourself though. But like Tron said, that's all I'm gonna say. Like Tron said though. So here she go. You know what? Here she go. Hey, someone is showing us their age for real. Yes, I'm proud. I'm a proud 52-year-old. I'm glad to be here for 52 years. So yeah. But even though I might have been 4 years old when the movie came out, though. So, you figure that out. Claudine, you better hold on. Yeah. Classic. Yeah, we got some people that's on there. Margaret, seen it a long time ago. It's a good one, y'all. Y'all really need to see it. One of my favorite movies. And right here, what Keena said, she couldn't have a radio in the house. Basically, in the movie, now I don't know how much the laws have changed in the 21st century, but if the welfare worker, if her caseworker saw that she had new appliances or new television, we're not talking about big television, little black and white television, a coffee maker, whatever, then they assumed that it was a man in the house. And they counted that as gifts that would determine their welfare benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And hence, that's why instead of getting married like everyone else, they decided to cohabitate. And like Tron says, when it's time for the inspection from the housing authority or the welfare or DHR for SNAP benefits called food stamps benefits, guess what? He ghost until everything is done. So yes. Yeah, that is not a black person thing. Oh yeah, definitely. Absolutely though. But it's no coincidence about who may have suffered the most from this type right there. It's no coincidence though. Charlene said they would search the home. Yep. And of course, Teresa, she would know. She's a social worker, a good one at that. Not that does none of that applies today. Only income and maybe money resources only. Mm-hmm. And oops, let me see this. I got to get this one. That was paper food stamps back then. Yes. Y'all talking about I'm showing my age, but okay. I'm gonna leave that low right there. Okay. That part was good. We got one more to say that's to imply that black people are on welfare more than other races. No, not really. Not really. Not saying that. But what I'm saying is it's not a coincidence with those rules and regulations that our people kind of suffered or had to do things that other folks didn't do. Yes, our white brothers and sisters are on the system. Uh, his Latinx brothers and sisters, some Asians, but we just looking at, and this is not a conspiracy theory, but it is no coincidence on how all this stuff came to be. It's not a race thing, but rather, okay, we may have to disagree on this one. Okay, it is an income thing, but we'll talk about this in the after party, I reckon. Okay, good topic, y'all. We're gonna move on. It's gonna be a little bit lighthearted, I hope. But before we do, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to share. Okay, like, subscribe, and share. Okay, the next one. Yeah, I gotta look like this. Okay, say you work at your workplace, your place of employment. You reached a milestone, 10 years, 20 years, even 30 years, a milestone. And of course, your workplace gonna recognize it. Even Walmart gives you that little pin, you've been there 10 years, 15 years, or what have you, though. They acknowledge it, though. Well, there was this video. Now, I don't know the legitimacy of it all, but if it's real, then we're in a sad state. It was this fella. Yeah, put your glasses on, Tron. It's this fella. He worked at Burger King. He's been a employee there for 27 years. Now, let's not look at why he was there for 27 years. Everybody got their reasons, though. So 27 years, nearly 3 decades. So his his employers decide to throw him a celebration to show them that they appreciate his work. Here's what happened, y'all.
A movie ticket. Thank you very much. And I also got a bag of Reese's. This is very nice. From Starbucks. Thank you guys. And it's like a lanyard. 2 pins. And a couple of key chains. And 2 lifesavers. So it's good to show what their appreciation for loyalty and for all you've done for the company. This is my reward for working for 27 years. Thank you, guys.
And for those who didn't understand or couldn't understand what he was saying, here it go right here. He received a movie ticket, a bag of Reese's Pieces, a reusable clear cup from Starbucks, a lanyard, 2 pins, and 2 packs of lifesavers. So, this topic right here, celebrating 27 years of service. Any thoughts on that, panelists? Any thoughts on that?
If that's what you get after 27 years, bro, it's time to leave and find you something else to do. Because that's
and he knew that
27 years.
No, here's my thinking on this. He knew what he was gonna get. He knew what he got at 25 years. He knew what he got at 20 years. He knew what they gave him at 10 years. He knew he should have left a long time ago. So don't expect nothing no different. You won't. I mean, You understand what I'm saying? If you working at Burger King, expect Burger King rewards. If you want better, get out and promote and take a chance to make a change in your life to get better. I worked at PG&E for 27 years and I got some very nice, but I knew what I was going to get based on the previous years that I had been there. And if I wanted more, then I did exactly what I did. I quit and moved on to a different career. I had to put myself back into school. So you're going to get what it is. Burger King is going to give me a Burger King hamburger. Can I expect a Denny's burger from Burger King? No. So he knew what he got at 26 years. He knew what he got at 25 years. Was he supposed to be shocked? He did what he was supposed to do. Say thank you. He knew what was coming. That was predictable.
Let me answer this. Renee Jones, was this a franchise or a corporate location? I don't know. Most likely it was a franchise. Most likely. I have no way of answering that though. So who else said that? Kitty says, what did he want? A car? Nah, no, I don't think he wanted a car, and he seemed, I guess, appreciative of it though, but like April said, a bag of trash in my opinion though. So I have no idea. Let me see some comments. Keena says, we have given custodial workers parties and cash bonuses in the public school. Yeah. And here goes Reginald. Well, for one, it's Burger King. His place was probably private owned. This isn't a corporate job. And that's true. That's true. Like I said, Tiffany says we should not be surprised by this. The average job is more than giving you to do this to 7 people with the salary of one of those people. Employers no longer value their workers, sadly. We got a lot of them. Angela Madison said, where's undercover boss? Something is not right. And yes, if it was a franchise, I'm not surprised. He may have deserved more. Yeah, I think something is. Oh, yeah, hold on. We got some more. Charlene, maybe he wanted a promotion to the fry. Oh, no, that's not necessary. We know. No, I'm not going to say. I was waiting for that. That was a valid question. Oh, well, you want more than a cup of pen, go work somewhere else. Well, I don't know about that. Any more comments, y'all?
I hope they gave him a raise or something, some money. I mean, money is king. Can I have some money, please? You can save your movie ticket. I can buy my own if you give me a raise.
I think that it's just an example of predictability and mediocrity. Some things are predictable, and it's obvious that you know what it is to come. You know, if you hang around a bunch of mediocre people, you expect to get. So yeah, some things are just predictable, and it's up to that individual to change, or may have courage to change, or whatever. I don't know. I don't get it. Let me shut up.
I know you said don't think of this, but I'm just trying to figure out why he was there for 27 years. Burger King is not one of them jobs that you be there for no 27 years.
I'm trying to be a bit sympathetic. Okay, I'm really am trying, because you know that could be. Well, all I'm saying is, and like Joe said, saying, and the rest of y'all probably thinking that at some point, knowing how they treating you after 27 years, how did they treat you after 5 years, after 10 years, 15, 20, 25? You know, at some point though, I don't know his skill set. You know, some people have suggested that he may have been special needs. I don't know. Yes or no? I don't know. We don't know. But yeah, for us on the panel, of course, 27 years. No. It ain't enough no's for me to say no. Okay.
Right.
And like April said, and I like this what she said. He's been there long enough to own his own Burger King franchise. Yes. Yeah, okay. And when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you will leave. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty said, well, there are any reasons. Perhaps he has a disability or special needs and finding unemployment difficult. Yep, that could be a strong possibility right there. I know y'all saying over 2.5 decades, but that could be the situation.
Even
I'm
then,
just
the possibilities are there. You go from Burger King to at least Chick-fil-A. Like,
well
I'm just
now.
trying to figure out where his people, I hope he has some people somewhere that would have talked to him. Now, if he didn't have any people to talk to him, then I guess, he on his own. But my folks would have been like, girl, after 5 years, we got to go to school, go to something
I don't know. I mean,
else.
I gotta address this right here. A lot of my sister Rosenborough says a lot of restaurants are suffering financially. Maybe he was treated better at other milestone worker bursaries. Maybe I don't know. Or maybe these folks were just tightwads and skinflints. I don't know. Erica Wilson said, "Oh, hey Erica, glad to have you. Glad you watching us." Erica, glad to have you watch us. Nonetheless, it feels like he believes that's the best he can do. Maybe he been conditioned to think that. We talking about conditioning this whole night. Maybe he has been. Oh, Theodora, y'all coming in. Employers want loyalty when it comes to their employees, but they don't know how to show true appreciation. I have worked in management, and all in my days of appreciation came in form of a severance package after being told the company was going in a different direction. Mm, mm. And Kitty says some people with special needs do not like change or like certain places and will not switch. Quite possibly. I just read he had perfect attendance for 27 years. Okay, but they ought to give him more than that, though. Uh, if he is a person with special needs, maybe they gave him a gift bag full of his favorite things.
yeah, because
Then right there,
he seemed a little excited about that movie ticket in that Starbucks cup.
but then doesn't that fall into the area of exploitation though? If he's special needs though, and instead of giving him a nice piece of money, break him off a piece though, you want to get him some stuff you might have found at Dollar Tree or something like that. I think that was exploitation though. But then that's just me. That's
Now
just
I
me.
agree. I agree with that. Yeah, if he is special needs, they did him like the lady April said, they did him dirty. Either or, they did him wrong.
Okay. And no, because if you like those items, that would be more valuable. No, I don't think he that special needs now. I don't think I don't think he that special needs. No, I don't know. I won't buy. Anyone else want to tackle this before we head off to the sunset? That's it. Okay, then. That's good though. This don't settle for less at your at your milestone anniversary. Okay, and folks, guess what? We are out of time. We are out of
That's it.
time, y'all. That's it. We are out of time. I know
Are you
time.
serious?
I'm just as serious can be. I am
You
serious as
know,
serious.
that one little thing, his 27 years, though, I just, something popped in my head about what if he was married for 27 years and got
Oh, I got something there. Oh, I'm so glad. Well, I was something else I want to share with y'all as well. I'm wondering did I put a thing on here? It doesn't matter. Okay. How many of y'all have heard about what Velveeta is doing? Velveeta, the cheese making people. No? Okay. Well, guess what? They came with Velveeta nail polish. And by Nails Incorporated, this is legit. This is legit. And they say that once it dries, it smells like, guess what?
That's disgusting.
Velveeta cheese, though. So don't all y'all rush to the store and get that, okay?
That's disgusting. That's almost as silly as in chicken nuggets at Taco Bell.
Okay.
Good on the polish. We good on that one. No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Who asked for it?
With that said, y'all, here's the nice announcements. Coming up next at 1:30, we're gonna have our after party. So look for the Zoom link. We're gonna talk about this and other social issues and whatever else is happening. So look out for the Zoom link posted in the group at 1:30. And then this coming Saturday, we will have our Saturday night social, and it starts at 10:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a good time discussing issues and just have a good time. So make sure you join us, and if it's the Lord's will, we will have another edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. What we're going to talk about, I don't know, but always something to talk about with Tuesday Talk. So, with that said, to Josette, to Tron, and to Jenna, glad to have y'all here. Glad you enjoyed us. And it was my honor to have y'all here today. So glad to have you. Hope y'all come back again. And to the studio audience, glad that you watched us and support us. Thank you for everything. So if it's nothing else, y'all, guess what? It's time to go. See y'all.
Was he trying raising his hand?
What you gonna say? Go ahead.
I just want to give a shout out to you, Mike. Thank you for creating this platform so we can talk about stuff like this. Y'all give it up for Mike, man. He doing it big.
Mike in the head.
Thank you so much, Brother Troy. Thank y'all. Thank y'all
We
so
gonna raise
much.
up.
But it's a group is only as good as its members. So y'all make it group. Y'all out there watching it, y'all make it group. Great. I'm just here to cook y'all dinner. Yeah, we're gonna have and we're gonna have dinner in the SBC Fellowship Hall. So bring your hungry stomachs in. So go ahead. So if nothing else, again, nothing else. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.